So, how are you doing with your legacy? You find yourself 60 plus? There's the stories of legacy, your contributions, your projects can start to unfold at this point in life. I just thought that I would ask that is because in the background of that is, do you have legacy mojo? That's something that crept into my life again because I was sort of misdirected off down rabbit holes, these kind of things. And I just decided, well, I got to get myself back into the swing of things. And so, what I want to do is share with you is the importance of the creative process, which is a great place to get things going again. As a bridge from that encouragement, getting involved with the creative process and some of the ideas and tools that we're going to be sharing afterwards, I just want to offer the following way of looking at the term creative process. It's a dynamic journey of imagination, exploration, and fulfillment, transforming ideas into tangible expressions through a combination of structured and intuitive tools and techniques. If you need to pause and just reread this, please do. And first up, we're going to take a look at the 12 elements, tenets, pillars of the creative process. And I'm going to be doing this from a high level. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because many of these are actually going to unfold through other videos on the series, this Saturday series with Legacy Mentor. At the heart of all of this is to remember that legacy, these 12 points, are really ways in which to unleash this legacy mojo that you might be searching for, you had, and you want to reignite it, whatever way you're approaching this or coming into this storyline at this point in time. Well, you could start at any one of the 12. Let me just start with reflection, self-awareness. Often that's what we walk into is, what is it that I know about myself? Reflecting on what I've been doing, reflecting in what I am doing, and bringing self-awareness to yourself. What is it that you understand about your values, that you can articulate your life experiences, the lessons you've learned, being able to record those, because they're really all foundational for legacy writing. And from that, the stories, then the contributions and projects. And with that reflection, you get a deeper, wiser, kinder look at who you are so that you can figure out ways in which to bring that story forward as you interact with others, because there's authenticity there and vulnerability. The next thing you'll take a look at is intention and the decision setting, this notion of the goals that you may want to work with. So, intention for me is setting out what do you want to improve, focus, and strengthen because of your legacy. There's something there in the future you want to improve, focus, and strengthen, and you're going to bring those threads back into where you are right now so you can explore it and make decisions about how you're going to be moving forward. And from that, what you're going to do is figure out what are you going to be writing about and for whom, sometimes called your audience. And one of the things to remember is that with this intention and decision making, there is a planned, deliberate aspect to it. And I'm going to share with you is that that's important. Just don't go willy nilly. You got to get in there and do a little bit of planning, sketching things out, and be deliberate in your approach. Because with this, what you're doing is you're aiming to preserve the wisdom and values that you want to move forward so that you can have these exchanges, these conversations with others. Because you're going to be interacting with the generations that will live beyond you, and therefore they can give you some ideas about how to shape up what it is that you're looking at being, having, and doing. So, what I'm suggesting here is that this whole story of legacy after 60 is just not about recounting events. It's about engaging in conversations. Hi, if we've not met, I'm Stephen, Legacy Mentor here with Legacy After 60. If I can be of assistance, let me know. Certainly, comments down below, questions. I'll do what I can and do my best to answer them for you. Another thing to do is explore storytelling, story sharing, the techniques that go with that. I'll be running a series of workshops on this on Saturday, so you can drop in and see what's going on and help you move forward in your writing. Because the structure of your narrative, the words that you use, the voice that you put into it, the tone that you're going to use, whether written or through video, all right, is going to transform the life experiences of others and yourself. There's no getting away from it. You are going to be transformed because of this. And what you want to do is be able to share interesting stories, profound, compelling, if you prefer that word. But the stories that you're going to share, are they going to resonate with the readers? Are the videos going to be ones that will resonate with your viewers? These are things you take into consideration. And one of the things that I have found to be very useful is the use of anecdotes and parables. And you can certainly look that up right now, but I'll be, again, sharing a workshop on what are anecdotes and parables and how can you use them in your legacy writing. And with the details that you create for what you want to share, you can call those lesson plans if you wish. What you can do is you can put those into a document and make them available for persons to read. So there's lots to unpack around that story sharing, storytelling techniques. So, with the audience engagement, one of the keys here is you don't want to get them to buy in. You want them to engage, enroll, and move forward. Even to engage to the point, well, you could participate, but to engage, get them in and get them interacting with you. Oh, that makes for such a beautiful time. And that's why I encourage the comments down below because we can learn together. So if you have anything you want to put down there to help us out, that's great. Even questions. And what you want to do is you want to write, create videos with your audience in mind. What might be their curiosity, their dreams, their wants? What might be their FOMOs, fear of missing out on? You might be able to connect with them in those ways as well. And you want to be able to provide enough context so that they can understand what it is that you're sharing. And that's why really understanding your audience, we spend time with that as well, because if there's anything I've learned along the way, it's to be very clear about what audience I want to interact with. And that's why I have chosen educators, professional, quasi professional educators, specifically adult educators and those who enjoy nature or nature inspired, because I believe they're the ones like you, or if you know persons like that, but I'm not ruling out educators as a whole. I just know that there's certain things I can do to be of assistance to the adult educators who like nature. Because the whole notion of what we're doing here, using the creative process, is to think about what's relevant and impactful. With the creative process, there are two words, creativity and innovation. And the best way to look at them is creativity is bringing in your energy, your time, your effort, all that into figuring out what's an idea that you can shape and share. And when you're sharing it, you're taking it out. That's innovation, taking out what you've done in different ways. And therefore, the writing can go out through different channels. So for me, I share stories on medium.com, substack.com, my blog and my website. I have my YouTube channel, and then I put up those videos might go on to Pinterest. Some of them might go up on Instagram. So what I'm sharing here is that the creative process, when you put it together, has this creativity in and the innovation out, back in and out, and back in and out. It's a flow, a cycle that you would go through. And therefore, there's lots of opportunities. You can use letters, memoirs, books, films. People have used making quilts, crocheting. Others have expressed it through their gardening and the presentations and the photographs that go with that. Again, possibilities for you. Because what you're attempting to do here is get fresh perspectives, which is sort of the inside out, based on the perceptions of the outside in. So you're going to take and give and share and shape. There's lots of things going on in the cycle of this creative process. And therefore, there's lots of approaches you can use. And again, I'll be sharing more of those on those Saturday workshops. Now, the next one that I would have you look at is wholeheartedness, emotional honesty, being wholehearted, open to what's taking place, being well, being willing to share your successes and the things that didn't go so well because you learned from them and you kept moving forward. So your struggles and what you've learned are going to be helpful. The lessons learned. And what that wholeheartedness does is it deepens and focuses your connections with others. The readers will start to go, I can connect with you. I can see where you're going. This is one of the areas for me I am challenged by. I don't know why it is, because when I'm like in a room with persons, I think it's just my nature and my playfulness. But when I find myself on videos, I've got to work at it just a little bit more. I don't know about you. You may be a great videographer and you're going, oh, I can do this, and off you go. Sometimes I stumble and fall down, scrape my knee, but I get back up and I keep doing it again. So it's just learning and sharing and seeing what it is that's happening. Because then what happens is that you're more relatable and you're setting up the motivation for them to engage with you. Now, here's another core learning for me is the structuring and organizing the content. For many years, from many of the videos on this YouTube channel, I just sat down and did my thing. Now, there's a time and place for that. I often find that my Thursday videos that I will be providing, they tend to be a little bit more from the hip. But when it comes to my Saturdays, I do a little bit more structuring and getting things organized and using frameworks and models and maps and diagrams and suggesting steps and actions. And that takes a little bit more organizing. But also, it helps out because a number of the persons who are watching this, and you might be one of them, is that those ideas and structuring it is very helpful for you. Others of you, you might go, okay, I can take the shooting from the hip kind of idea and seeing what plays itself out. But again, as you get to know your audience, you can figure that out with them. Now, the next thing is the reflection evaluation. Now, the reflection here is being able to review and assess what's taking place, has a little bit more formality to it. And evaluation is really getting into the formality where you're actually using some kind of measures to be able to see what's happened for what you're sharing. And what you're going to do is you want to seek feed forward. You want to interact in such a way as that the persons who are listening to you, watching you, reading you, are giving you a sense of here are ideas to move you forward and to help because I would like to see them because it would help me. And that's why I call it feed forward. And when you take a look at this, these insights that you're going to get, these ideas, then make sure that they link back to what all the other areas here, or these other 12 points are for you to take into consideration. Another aspect is the ethics. Ethics are the shared values. They help us figure out how we interact with one another. Words like honesty, fairness, accountability, civility, these kind of words. Because once you understand how you want to interact with others, and if you're not getting it reciprocated, and maybe there's something you're going to have to do or share to be able to set up so that the ethics are present for you. Now, with legacy writing, and because you're sharing it with others, just don't assume that because you wrote it, people are going to pick up on it and move with it. They still may question it, and that's okay. It's if they're becoming disrespectful to you or they're not being fair in their interactions with you, you've got to pay attention to that from an ethics point of view. And reverse, don't just say, this is how it is, this is how it's going to be, and off you go, because words matter. And the way that you shape up your words, they're going to represent who you are, because your legacy actually shows up in the smaller aspects, the daily decisions, the words you use, the conversations that you have. And then the other thing about the creative process is lifelong. You're going to keep interacting with it. Persons are going to share things that they think works, and you're going to figure out, what do I continue, stop, or start? You're going to be able to figure out what's interesting here, what's that's a plus, I'll use it, minus, oh, I'm going to have to do some shifting. These are things that are going to unfold for you. So walking in with even what you think you know now, I would encourage you not to be arrogant about what you think you know and can do now. Just be open to it flowing and following through in ways that help you to figure out where you are in this legacy after 60 approach. And one of the greatest encouragements I can offer to you is find mentorship, conversations with others. If it means getting together with a group of persons and just sharing what's going on, great. If you want to hire a legacy mentor, great. If you want to look for a volunteer legacy mentor, great. Just see what happens with you, open up the mentorship and serving as a mentor as well. That's a great way to help you with your creative process. The last two I wanted to take a look at are ones that are forever with you, always and always they're with you. Is that legacy is an adventure together, the creative process is an adventure together, and it's about nurturing your well living with others. I don't believe there's any way from a legacy point of view that I found so far where you're not an adventure together with at least one other person, the recipient. And then there's contributors and supporters. And then there's the realization that this is a unique journey. And there's times when you're just going to have to take it. You're just going to have to step forward. You're just going to have that commitment, the courage to keep moving forward. And it may not always be pleasant, and you may get a bit of rough patches unfolding for you, but you truly want to embrace your well-being for self and taking care of yourself. And this adventure together and unique journey playing themselves out, there's a safety element to it. And I'm going to share more about this notion of felt safety on another Saturday. And moving forward, there are videos on the channel I encourage you to watch. The reference to the shorts, the playlist, great for journaling. And the other video that's here takes a topic and extends it, expands it for you. So with that, remember, comments down below, and always and in all ways, take care.